Hey everybody, Ash here from Quantified Performance. What I'm going to do today is basically going to be a little Paul Harvey, little hat tip to him. Basically, this is going to be page 2. So what page 1 is about is people's doing some arguing about some barricade stuff and some other things, and I think they're kind of missing the point on some things. So what I want to do is do a video. I'm going to do a video here at the side of the house, and I'm going to do some stuff on the barricade. It'll be easier to see. But let's just talk about cover. Right now, this may be cover, it might be concealment. Basically, it depends on that house that you're at and all sorts of stuff. We tend to think of structures as cover, but not necessarily true, right? So one of the things that we need to understand with cover is, depending on what I'm doing, I may or may not be sticking around that cover, right? So I may be just coming up here, pieing this corner. Either there's a target there or there's not a target there. I'm going to basically lock this down while people move behind me and they continue on their mission, or I'm going to lock this down at a defensive posture. There's a bunch of things that go into that, right? So with that, initially, I'm not going to be on this. I'm not going to be over here, and I'm not doing this initially, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be out here and be away from it, right? Gun's going to be a little up. I'm starting to pie. I'm in a situation where I'm actually looking. Right, so I'm in a high ready. I'm not a high ready. I'm in a ready position. I'm looking over the top of the optic and I'm eyeing. Right now, if I get out here and I see that I need to shoot something, I can do that. But I'm not up on this cover. Right, and I might be a little far away from there. Be here. Right now, when I do that, and you can't see it here, and you'll see it here in a minute when I get on the barricade. When I do that, my outside leg or my forward leg, I'm actually keeping my my firing side leg forward. Right, and the reason that I'm doing that is if I have this leg forward, that puts me in a position where I'm going to have to do a weird step back. Okay, so if I keep this other leg out and I'm here, I can push back really hard and get going. Okay, that's just what's comfortable for me. It might not be comfortable for you. So I'm always anticipating that I might pop around that corner and somebody starts shooting at me. Okay. So when I do that, I don't necessarily want to be on it. If I'm right here and guys blasting through this, I'm probably going to catch some spall. But if I'm back here a little bit, I can get away from that corner and be a good distance away from it and not catch any of that thing. Even if stuff's kind of coming through the corners, corners come apart rapidly. If you haven't experienced that, it's not fun. But I'm staying off the cover. I'm not crowding the cover. Now, depending on target size, right? Let's say that I come around this corner and there's a target there that I need to shoot. Depending on target size and target distance, shooting capability, or shooting stuff that we've been talking about, I might need to stabilize more to do that shot. Particularly if I have the element of surprise, if I have that kind of space that I need to stabilize, I should be able to be fairly safe in doing that. Not necessarily. But the better that you shoot, the less likely that you are to have to do that, okay? But let's say that I come in and I see there's a target and I've got the drop on them and they're farther away, right? So I'm here, I'm coming in, and I can't get stable enough to do that shot, right? Then I'm just gonna come in here, I'm gonna crowd this cover a little bit, I'm gonna get on this cover and I'm gonna do the shot, but I'm gonna be prepared. Notice how I didn't do anything. I'm prepared to do that shot and have to come off that corner, right? Because he might have friends, he might have a bunch of things. There's a bunch of factors that we have to take into account when we're doing that, right? So, but what the talks were is on the kneeling, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the barricade and get it into a good spot where you guys can see me, where the wind's not blowing and messing up the stuff. And we're going to talk the barricade on some basic rules like that. All right, everybody, I'm here on my Saunders barricade. You can see through it. I wanted to use this one. Just so you guys can see everything that's going on. Something I failed to mention earlier, I've got my Knights 14.5 set up on the Manus Blackbeard, just so you guys can know it's a clear gun and all that sort of shit. Alright, so that same thing that applies when I was on the wall over there. Just imagine this is a wall, it's just easier to see through, easier to train from. That's the purpose of a barricade, right? It's to simulate cover or concealment. So now, a couple of things that you need to think about with that outside leg. Right, and what the big complaint was there was a soldier that was set up in his traditional kneeling on a barricade and they were set up really high like this and just in a not so good shooting position when they had other options, right? So, but the book shows the other leg up, right? Now there's a reason that we put this other leg up. We had a bunch of arguments about, you know, femoral artery and all that sort of stuff. But if you look, if I'm in this position right here, there's just as much of that inside of my leg exposed if I'm in a traditional kneeling or if I'm in this kneeling. And I can actually bring this one in and actually cut that off more and have more of that femoral artery behind cover. But that's an argument for another time. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why we want to have this leg up, okay? One is for support, right? That's it's a fairly good reason. I got this leg up, I got my elbow on it, got the rifle supported fairly well, okay? So if I'm doing shooting. More importantly though, if I'm here and I'm in this position, let's say I wasn't crowding cover, I just decided to take a knee, all right? So I come back off this, and I'll lean out around that, so I'm out, and I can see around that. I'm exposing as little as possible, but I have a good position even though I'm not using the barricade. So if I'm here, I have a buddy, all right? So if you're doing operations, you're probably gonna have some sort of buddies with you. If I'm in this kneeling, right, and my buddy bumps me, okay, and you guys can try this. If my buddy bumps me, even if I'm not out from behind cover, I just got my head sticking out. If I get bumped, I'm falling that way. So I'm falling out of cover. I can't stop it. The only thing I can do is just eat shit outside of cover. Now if I have this leg up, if somebody bumps me, I can fight back. Or if I'm out here and I'm taking a peek and I start catching rounds, if I'm in this kneeling, I have to get up to get back behind cover, right? Whereas if I'm in this kneeling, I simply push back with this leg and I'm back in cover, right? So there's some operational reasons for having that leg up and out. If you're looking at this, I'm gonna try to get the angle a little bit better, right? So if I'm here, my knee is almost straight forward, and my artery that everybody's worried about is behind cover, okay? So that's a little short video on page 2. So I changed the angle a little bit, and you should be looking straight down the side of this. Obviously ignore all the stuff that's in here, that's just so you can kind of see me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up on this barricade with that knee out, right? So basically the knee is pointed straight forward, straight towards the camera. My foot is in line with the board that is here, right? So I'm on the side of the barricade, and basically I'm shooting down from here, and hopefully the angle catches that pretty good. I'm really exposing very little outside. Hoping to see that angle. We'll check it here in a second, and if it goes in the video, it goes in the video.